What's going on, everybody? So the holidays are upon us, and this is a great time to get people started in the guitar playing journey. God knows we need more guitar music. So of course, working in the music industry for over 15 years, this was obviously the high point of guitar sales. And one particular item was the highest selling item in the whole chain, and that was of course the Squier Guitar Pack. But given the fact that the price for the Squier Guitar Pack skyrocketed, and also given the fact that so many awesome guitars are coming out of China nowadays, I thought there's gotta be a cheaper, better way. So I went online and I checked some prices out and decided to reach out to my friends at Kahaya and ask them to send me a beginner's guitar pack so that I could review it for you guys on the channel. And here it is. So before we get started, just a quick shout out to the guys at Kahaya. Thank you very much, guys. I want to let you know that this is not a sponsored video, so they're not paying me to do this, but they did provide me with a guitar pack, so thanks for that. But yeah, what you'll get is my first reactions and my honest review on the guitar pack. Alright, so let's open this bad boy up and let's see what it includes in the pack. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at each individual item and let's see what they are. Let's get started. For the tiny, awesome budget amount of $119, you actually get a clip-on chromatic tuner, a Kahaya branded guitar strap, a 12 feet or 3 meter Kahaya branded guitar cable, an extra set of guitar strings. I wonder if they're any good. But hey, they're free. You also get a guitar mini amp, this pretty padded, pretty good gig bag with a nice big pocket, nice zippers, a good carrying handle, and backpack straps. And of course, you get the guitar. Okay, so with the guitar, you actually get a threaded, so a screw-in tremolo arm. Here's a couple of Allen wrenches so you can set up the action and the truss rod. And here we go. Here's the guitar itself. This is actually a two-tone sunburst, but I'm sure you can get it in different colors. Okay, so let me screw the tremolo arm in. Let me tune it up. And I'll get right back to you.
A few moments later.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the guitar. It's tuned up and ready to go. First impressions, you do have a lot of relief here on the neck, so we'll need to adjust that. Of course, I've been playing guitar forever, so I know what to look for in a guitar. But if you're just starting out, this might actually be good enough. I mean, it's easy to play. It's good enough. But if you're up here, you have to really lift your fingers off of the fretboard to actually get to the strings. So yeah, we need to address that. We'll fix that. But before we do that, let's talk specs and features. On this Stratocaster style guitar, you actually get 22 frets, which a lot of times we get for granted, but you know, most Strats, especially the cheaper ones like the Squiers, have 21 frets. So you get that one extra fret, kind of like on a Les Paul. So you get one extra note per string and you get a little bit more range. And it's also easier to bend that 22 to a 24, making it a full 2 octaves from the open strings. So I really appreciate that. Now, when it comes to the hardware, it's actually not bad. I mean, it feels sturdy. It feels at least as good as the ones on the Squier. Now, I don't know what it sounds like yet, but looking at the electronics, they're definitely your typical cheap electronics. I mean, just looking at the pickups, we can see that the single coils are not the most expensive single coils you're gonna find. But if we're talking about aesthetics, I like the fact that it's got a tortoise shell for the pickguard and also for the back. But also, I gotta tell you that my favorite feature on this guitar is the fact that it's a humbucker single configuration. And for you guys who are just getting started, what does that mean? That means that you actually have a humbucker pickup, which as you can see is kind of like a double pickup. And what it does is that it's actually humbucking, so it actually gets rid of the hum of the single coil pickups, but it also has more gain, so it's more suited for like metal and stuff like that. But you can always back out of the gain, so you can always just lower the volume on this pickup and make it less gainy. So if you don't want to play metal or hard rock or anything like that, you can still have it be pretty clean. It also has a warmer tone by definition, so it's actually pretty good too if you want to play like jazz or blues or stuff like that. Now, as far as the guitar itself, the butt is actually made out of poplar, or the back of the neck actually looks like maple, but the front is actually made out of laurel. It's not rosewood. So it's actually a little bit denser and a little bit less porous than the rosewood they use on the cheaper guitars, so that's really cool. Some of the low points on these guitars are basically just the plastic looks really cheap on the knobs and on the pickup covers, and also that nut probably has to go. That would definitely have to be the first upgrade I would do to this guitar if I want to keep this guitar around for years. Now, something that is definitely worth mentioning is the fact that the tuning keys are actually a lot better than the ones you'll find on most sub $300 guitars. And then when it comes to the neck itself, it's actually a nice rounded C shape. So yeah, very Strat-like. So it'll actually be a very easy transition from this guitar to a more expensive Stratocaster. So as far as the fret goes, there's no sharp edges, so that's really good, really nice. That's something to look for on cheap guitars like these. Now that it's tuned up, the action's really not all that bad. Let's check for some fret buzz. Alright, so just a little bit of fret buzz here. Not too bad though. And honestly, when you plug this into an amplifier, you're probably not even going to hear it. But then again, what starter player is going to be like, you know, noodling up here? I mean, you might be, and it's not bad. Keep in mind that that's the targeted audience for this guitar. You know, young players or people that are just starting out, so yeah. It's not bad at all. You could probably take that Allen wrench and just give it like a quarter turn to make this a little bit lower. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this is better than what most people started playing with. So Chinese guitars have definitely come a long way, I'll tell you. All right, so let's take a look at the amplifier. All right, so definitely a tiny amplifier, definitely a practice amp. It's an amplifier that you can take everywhere, so that's really cool. You can take this to lessons, you can take it to school, and you can use it at home also as well and play on it and just be, you know, as loud as you need to be. A couple of really cool things about this amplifier are the fact that you get two 5-watt speakers and it's Bluetooth as well. So you can actually play your music in here, you can put backing tracks on, you can jam along with your favorite songs, and it's battery powered. So you just plug this USB-C cable to the wall, just like you do your phone, and it'll charge it up, and you'll have a solid couple of hours to play with this without having to charge it again. On this guy here, you actually get a headphone out, so you can actually be jamming and playing at whatever time. And then as far as the amplifier itself, super simple. It's a 2-channel amplifier, so you can have it clean, you can have it driven, so you have basically a distortion and a clean channel. This is the input for your guitar. Then you have this button which switches between the 2 channels, so you have a drive channel and a clean channel. You also have the drive knob, which is more gain, less gain, more distortion, less distortion. You have a tone knob, so you can make it darker or brighter sounding. Also a drive volume, so you can actually control the volume on the drive channel, and of course a master volume, so you can actually control the overall volume of the amplifier itself, and you can control the volume of the guitar. And then of course this switch engages or disengages the Bluetooth. But what does it sound like? Let's check it out. Okay, so of course you're gonna have to rely on my experience now, because you're not gonna be able to hear how loud it actually is or how great it actually sounds, because it's going to go through my microphone and into the phone. I am recording this video through the phone, but you'll also hear some recordings of this guitar through the actual interface and through the audio equipment, so that you can see just how well it can actually sound. Okay, so here we go, guitar plugged into the amplifier, and this is what it sounds like. Alright, so I really hope that it comes through the mic. A lot of times the phone just compresses it down or just disregards it as background noise. So we'll see. I might edit this out. Hey, it's actually not that bad. Alright, so let's check out some sounds. This is the humbucker itself on the clean channel. That's a little bit of crunch there. This is second position on the pickup switch. That's essentially a blend between these two pickups. This is the middle pickup by itself. Position 4. Very twangy, I like that. And this is the neck by itself. definitely sounds Stratty. Okay, so that's everything at 12 o'clock. Okay, so let's try out the drive channel. All right, yeah, definitely a bright sounding amplifier. You're just not gonna get a lot of bottom end on an amplifier like that, but it's very portable. You can take it anywhere. It's got a rechargeable battery. It sounds loud. And I gotta tell you, the neck on this thing is actually pretty damn good for the price. It's a comfortable guitar. I am surprised, however, at the fact that this guitar came in strung from the factory with 10 gauge strings, which a Stratocaster typically comes in with 9s. And it being a beginner's guitar, I would definitely recommend that you change the strings to 9 gauge strings instead. I mean, again, for $119, this is a steal. I wish I would have started with something this cheap, this portable, and this awesome. I mean, honestly, my first guitar was more expensive than this whole combo, and I just got the guitar itself. I didn't even have an amplifier for like the first 6 months. And even then, what I got was a really tiny Dan Electro battery powered one. And forget about a soft case. I remember walking to school with the guitar just like getting on the bus with my guitar in my hand. Those were the days. Anyway, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please drop me a like. If you did, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of this guitar. Let me know what you think of this combo. And let me know if you think $119 is cheap for something like this, which I think it is. I think it's super cheap. I mean, honestly, I'm not looking at budget guitars all the time, so I might be a little off. But I remember back at the Sam Ash days, like 10 years ago, they used to be $199 for, you know, a guitar with an amplifier, cable, etc. Of course, it would be a bigger amplifier, a 10-watt amplifier, as opposed to a 5-watt amplifier. But other than that, though, I think this is a winner. Anyway, bros, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Pat out, metal on, dudes, and happy holidays, everybody.